Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz City Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and today I am joined by a very special guest, one of two, Kelly. Kelly ran a little late, so when he's still setting up, whenever he jump on, and we going, we just gonna keep picking on, keep going. But y'all already know my guy Ron Bridges is in the matter of fact. Here we go, baby. Here we go. He here now. Ron Bridges and my
Hey,
dog Kelly Flicks from the West Coast.
what's
What's
the
going
deal?
on, y'all?
What's up? What's up?
Deal. Thanks for having me on, Code, man. Can't wait to do this.
Hey man, hey, listen, I couldn't wait to have y'all boys on, man. So my boy Ron hit me up. We been supposed to get a show going, so I was like, all right, we got to do that. Then Kelly, bro. Like I know you ain't, you don't have the YouTube, but you always on social media and you be giving like the best analysis, like the best list and that. I'm like, dog, I gotta get Kelly on YouTube, bro. Like
Yeah.
he too good, like just to be doing social media. Like I gotta get him on the camera. So,
Let's do it, man.
I'm happy.
Boy, hold up. Let's talk about this now. I like this little man cave you got going on in the background. Let's talk about that little man cave.
That's where it's all at, man. All the magic get done in here, man.
I feel you.
Pleasure to be on with you, Bridges, man. I've been seeing all the stuff you've been doing, even on Off Scripts Network, man. I love it. You've been doing some great work. You have some other co-hosts also just as equally as great, man. Shout out to you too, Bridges. Been doing it.
Man, thank you, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it, especially with Kobe and you, like just to be with y'all, to conversate, to talk about football, to talk about different things, bring different personalities together. That mesh well. That's what all of us are here for, man. Definitely.
No doubt.
Hey, shout out to Blue, man. Blue, what's going on, Blue?
Big Blue. What's up
Blue,
with the Big Blue?
Vacation. Hey, for y'all watching, remember, man, we back with another episode of FBS Friday starting back next week with Blue and my guy Clay. We're going to be back on that again. Hey, y'all know FBS football. Y'all can be the fourth guest. One of y'all can be the fourth guest. We can keep that rotating too.
Right.
But let's start with the first topic. All right. Now, draft prospects. The draft is almost around the corner. A lot of these HBCU guys have been showing out. I mean, we seen the tape. Kelly, you was even at one of the practices at the Rose Bowl because I
the NFLPA Bowl.
Okay.
So, top 5 HBCU draft prospects, right? Because for me, I'm gonna go Xavier Smith. All right, I'm gonna go Mark Evans. I'm gonna go Shaq Davis at number 3. Gotta have Shaq on there. That's my dog. That's my dog. All right. Then I'm gonna go. The obvious 2 would be, Aubrey Miller, because he's been showing out in that Senior Bowl practice, and of course Isaiah Lane. All right, so. But y'all, who would be your top 5 draft prospects?
Solid 5. That was a super solid 5. I came up with 3. I did have a chance. I got a chance to go down to the NFLPA Bowl down at the Rose Bowl a couple of weeks ago, and down at the NFLPA Bowl, I got to see Kamari Averett from Bethune-Cookman. I got to see Darius Higgins from Virginia State. I got to see Emmanuel Wilson from Fort Valley State. So I got to get a real good look at these guys. And I will say, your boy Emmanuel Wilson, Fort Valley State, got a lot of buzz.
A dog.
A lot of RB1 type buzz around the team that he was on and how he was playing. He even started on his side of the All-Star game. So Emmanuel Wilson, definitely one of those guys I got on my list. Another guy, Darius Higgins. His ability to catch out the backfield has really brought up a lot of eyebrows. I think a lot of people are thinking about him a little different as a running back in today's age. Look at the Austin Eckler's, look at all the guys that kept the receiving backs, the Jet McKinnons. Darius Higgins has that. He has that explosive nature to him downfield. He's running like wheel routes out the backfield, running by outside linebackers. Putting good moves on safety. So I like what he's doing. Also, Kamari Averett, man. He had a down season this year, I will say, but he has all the intangibles. He's still in shape. 1-on-1s, he looked great. Running by guys consistently downfield and in 11-on-11 team drills. He looked really good out there. Really like his play. And then lastly, Jadakiss Bonds, man. Got to throw Jadakiss Bonds on there. I think he's one of the most complete receivers that are coming out of HBCUs in this class. And he had a very good Shrine Bowl practice. Gerald Huggins and HBCUs down there. He did very well, 1-on-1s and things. So I think he'll test well. And hopefully Jadakiss Bonds also gets a chance at the next level.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shoot, my list is about like y'all's. First person I got is X-Man, Xavier Smith. His stock keep going up, up.
Steve
You
Smith
know,
helping that too. I love it.
yeah, and like Steve Smith definitely put him on the map. He was already on the map when he ran that 4.3, but Steve Smith definitely put him on the map, and he just gave hints out there like, "Hey, Kansas City, they watch you." So when you get a stamp of approval from a future Hall of Famer, it's no doubt 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get drafted. And the only receiver that has 1,000 yards in the swag. Next, I got my other guy, Isaiah Land. So, I had to put 2 FAMU Raptors in there just, to show them, to show them love. But then I'm going to go to Aubrey Miller, a physical linebacker. Everybody needs that linebacker that can be physical, that can, be that third down linebacker that can almost – I think he has to find that gear. I want him to find that gear for the NFL speed to go sideline to sideline. Once he find that gear for the NFL speed to go sideline to sideline, it'd be amazing. Next, I got Mark Evans. I don't know too much about offensive linemen, but I know, that's what I've been hearing from other people like Blue and others, so on and so on. You can ask Blue about the offensive lineman stuff. I'm a skilled person. I stick to my skills. I'm a skilled person.
I heard good things about Mark Evans, though, no doubt.
Exactly. I don't know about nothing. I don't know nothing about no 3 technique or none of that.
Hey,
but
when it comes to linemen, I listen to Gerald. I listen to Blue.
Exactly. Then I got my last person, Kamari Everett. Like for me, I put it as this way. If he was in FAMU offense, or he was at Jackson State, or he was with Andrew Body, his numbers would be out the roof. But he was at Bethune-Cookman. You cannot teach size, and you cannot teach speed, and you cannot really teach, him catching the ball so easily. So, those are my top 5.
Okay. All right. Hey, solid all around. Now, top 3 HBCU draft gems, and when I say draft gems, I mean guys so we know aren't going to be drafted, but will have an opportunity to make an NFL roster or to even play in the USFL. When I think of gems, my number 1 guy is Jarris Halsey from Delaware State. I mean, I absolutely loves the way this man catches the ball, right? Not too many receivers I've seen can make contested catches and acrobatic catches in the way that he has. Like you can be draped on him. He's coming down with that football. He doesn't need much space to do so, right? You put it in his vicinity, it's caught. Also, I love the way he runs routes. He gets enough separation from the quarterbacks. All right, so Jarris Halsey for me is that guy. The second guy for me, Kelly, you just brought up Emmanuel Wilson. The way I found out about Emmanuel was just crazy. Like I just saw Fort Valley highlight, and I said, "Who is this big dude looking like Derrick Henry, like just running downhill, like with tree trunks for legs?" Like, and ever since I've been following Emmanuel, man, I was saying to myself, if he was at the Division I level, he would get more notoriety. He would get more hype, but because he's at the Division II level, not much eyes are on him like that. But I think he is a gem for sure. And like you said, he's been getting a lot of hype at the All-Star game that he was in California. So I think when he gets a shot to make an NFL team, he will be a phenomenal player. And last but not least, this might be an unpopular pick, but I still am a believer in Warren. Nugget Warren. I still am. I was when he first got to Jackson State. I just think he wasn't handled right at Jackson State, for so many reasons. Sometimes, he maybe was like a couple minutes late to a meeting, he don't play. We all know how strict Coach Prime was at Jackson State. But Nugget has the athleticism to be a great corner, man. He just hasn't been playing the position for long. All right, but you do have a couple of years of experience under Coach Prime. All right, he runs what a 4.3, 4.4. I think that's where he was clocked at. He really has all the intangibles to be a great corner. All he needs is somebody to really take time to really develop his game and hone his skills, and I think he'll be great. But his athleticism should be enough for him to make somebody's roster. But that's my top 3 draft gems. Who are y'all's?
I want to stay on Jackson State, man. Dallas Daniels, his route running ability. He's so consistent, great blocking, great hands. I know at the Shrine Bowl, he was talking to the Patriots at some point. So I think that maybe he gets a little bit of traction. You know what I mean? Later on in the draft or undrafted wise, and gets a look, man. I think Dallas Daniels, is a kid who brings his hard hat and his lunch pail to work. You know what I mean? He's gonna learn that playbook. He's gonna dive into it. And he's a great route runner and great hands. You know what I mean? Those two things translate. All right. So sticking with Jackson State still, I got a chance to also see Isaiah Bolden down at the NFLPA Bowl. He looked really good. He was actually returning punts. You know what I mean? We know him as a kick returner at Jackson State, and now he's showing he can return punts. And he's also drafted in the USFL. So if he doesn't get a chance in the NFL, he does have that fallback option being drafted in the USFL. So Isaiah Bolden and Dallas Daniels, definitely some guys. And I guess I'll throw in there Keenan Isaac, man. Also got a chance to check out Keenan Isaac, cornerback from Alabama State. Very long, rangy type of guy. Probably be really good in zone defense. Maybe not so much press man. He has to get his hands on, but he makes great plays on the ball, and he's very aggressive. You know what I mean? Something like that can be coached, and in the right defensive system, he can thrive.
I like those. Mine's Shaq Davis. Yeah, I can't leave Shaq out. That's the man. If he double covers, he's still gonna snap the ball over you.
You don't think Shaq gonna be drafted? I mean, I ain't trying to get
nah, for me is this. They may do him like Marquise Bell. We can get him for a cheaper cost, and we can still get the draft picks that we want. That's how I feel.
I hear you.
Yeah, because now just seeing how that draft played out last year, I know it's going to be way more HBCU players getting drafted this year than last year. But at the end of the day, is what players we know for sure can we get at the cheapest cost and still get the players that we technically want. So that kind of plays a big part into Shaq. If he does get drafted, that's hands down. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. That's one more off the board. But I just feel like he's one of those players that's going to get picked, and he's going to make a role. He's going to make a big impact role in any offense any offense. It don't matter. Long as he don't go to I can't even think of a team right now that's not even doing too good. Yeah. Long as he don't go to Atlanta right now, because Atlanta ain't throwing the ball. As long as he don't go there, even though that's my team, he'll be good. Besides that, Dallas Daniels, like you said, is good athlete. He's a well-rounded receiver. What I mean by that is like Dallas may not be the fastest, Dallas may not be the tallest, Dallas may not, have all those attributes that these other fast and tall receivers have, but Dallas is going to put the work in. He's a route runner. He's going to catch the ball. He can be reliable in that third down situation if he gets open. So that's something that you have to look at. Like Dallas Daniels is a reliable receiver anywhere he goes. As long as you put him in the right system and you give him the right game plan to thrive and to work, it's going to be awesome, man. And my last one is a tight end from Clark, Atlanta, Devin McCoy. He's a big tight end. Like you can't turn down big tight ends that can catch the ball. That's a vertical threat downfield. Like if you turn away that, man, that's like your whole center part of your offense now. Just by looking at the Chiefs and just by looking at other teams, the tight end has to be one of your main keys for the offense, even in passing or blocking. So you just gotta have that extra backup tight end for any team, man.
I'll say this about Dallas. I didn't put him on the top 3 because I heard rumblings of him going 7th round, and when I hear that, I would put stock in it just because I feel like he is reliable. On top of that, before he went to Jackson State, he was in the toughest conference in the FCS, playing guys like North Dakota State. You feel me? Like in producing, he was a pretty good receiver at Western Carolina. So I feel like if that 7th round rumor is out there, I think it'll be legit. Maybe the Patriots, we know how slick Bill Belichick can be. Maybe the Patriots do slide through and pick him up, just by seeing how good he is. So that's why he wasn't in my top 3. But y'all are absolutely right to include him. I like y'all's top 3, right? But now let's talk about signing classes. Who has the most underrated signing class in 2023? Whether that be SWAC, MEAC, it don't even matter. For me, I'm gonna say Morgan State. I'm gonna definitely say Morgan State. I like what they were able to do, just picking up on the momentum that they finished last season with. Getting a lot of better athletes. They've been shooting their shot at higher ranked athletes, not getting them. But I love that they starting to putting themselves out there and get a little bravado about them. But I feel like they've addressed some needs that they really needed. They got a lot of great athletes, and I think this class is like really going to propel them to really be like a consistent competitive football program. So for me, it's Morgan State. I think that's the most underrated class for 2023. What's yours?
I got a couple, but I'll say I do got to give a shout out to the D2 side, man. CIAA, shout out to Virginia State. Coach Henry Frazier went out and brought in 41 commits this past signing class. They're not playing any games.
that boy out here selling cocaine.
He saw how Union ran the table, and decided to double down. Went ahead, got plenty of transfer guys, a bunch of D1 bounce backs, even guys from Norfolk State. He picked up a couple 3-stars. So I just want to shout out Virginia State, first of all. This is what they did. Just in one signing class. That's pretty big for a D2.
Yeah.
But one of my most underrated signing classes, I got to go with Tennessee State, man. What Coach Eddie George is doing down there is amazing. I think that now after picking up Jalen Ellis, he really has decided to really try to protect him, bringing in so many guys up front. And then on defensively, you bring in a guy like Jalen Bill out of Mississippi Valley. He's going to be a graduate senior at this point. And, just having that much experience in the SWAC on a team, where you got to go with Ronnie Thomas. He used to being paired with good guys. I think he'll pair very well with another commit. They also got Monroe Beard out of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, outside linebacker. What Tennessee State is doing now, I kind of see them, they're plugging in players. They have a much smaller class, only 15 players. They have 9 linemen in this class. Bringing a backup quarterback, Demetric Crenshaw, pretty good quarterback, a 3-star guy, a nice backup to Jalen Ellis. That was kind of a question. Another question was about Devon Starling, the running back from Tennessee State, star running back, ran for almost 1,000 yards, ends up transferring in the offseason to NAU. So in replacing them, they bring in 2 running backs. They bring in a big body running back by the name of Antoine Parker, 6 foot, 218 pounds, transferred from Texas Butler Community College. They bring in another running back, a 3-star, Willie Eldridge, 5'11", 190. That's a little bit more the size of Devon Starling, more your quicker guy. So I really see what Eddie George is doing, and I think that Tennessee State might be onto something this year. And this recruiting class, just bringing in guys that are ready to play right now, is showing me that they're going to bring back a lot of guys, and they're confident in their returning talent.
Yeah, that's crazy that you said that, because that was my pick too. Like, I feel like Tennessee State gonna change it around. They're gonna have a winning season this year. They're gonna definitely be over 500. Just by the athletes that you named, basically just some of the same ones I was gonna talk about. I ain't gonna reiterate it, but I feel like he has more, as far as Eddie George, more of a grasp of what to do, how to control his team. What he liked, what he didn't like. I feel like he's getting seasoned. He's getting well seasoned in the game, and he understands what he truly needs to do to, put W on the boards and compete within this conference. So that was mine. But I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna choose Grambling. Grambling has something to prove this year by the class they bringing in. I feel like they could be. I ain't necessarily gonna say SWAC champions, but they could be second or third in the SWAC this year, as far as how they produce. So I feel like Grambling that cusp right there. Grambling's on that bubble. They on the bubble. They
about the
ain't
worst
there
on their
yet.
side last year. That's a big jump. Especially in the SWAC.
But think about it. You have necessarily what? This is his third year or second year.
I think the run game is going to be great.
Yeah, the run game is going to be there, and that's the thing that you cannot sleep on with teams, is that run game. Because if your running game rolling, and your defense doing somewhat good, or they can hold their own, that's time off the clock, and all your defense got to do is make stops. Like you rely on the running game.
Thanks. Okay. All right. So we talked about the most underrated signing class of 2023. Which HBCU has the best class of 2023? Now, I feel like it has to be Jackson State, and I'm gonna say Jackson State, but I have to mention FAMU. I gotta mention FAMU, right? Because they didn't get a lot, but they plugged in. They got what they needed. Like you got Jeremy Musa at quarterback. So what they did, they went to the University of Buffalo. They got this very fast, very elusive wide receiver
He got
I forget his name. I forget his name, but from the University of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to come in. He's going to provide relief for Jeremy Musa. On top of that, you go out and you get Jaquez Yant from Nebraska, 6'2", 230-pound running back, who, just runs with so much ferocity. Like, just a downhill runner, runs high, like very physical. You can tackle this man at the line of scrimmage. He gonna fall down and get you like 3 or 4 yards. He's so big, So I love that. I love those two picks automatically. Then you take a couple of Jackson State's prospects. If we being real, you took 4-star wide receiver Robert Lockhart III. The boy runs like what, a 4.2, 4.3, somewhere in that range. You go back and you take Twan Wilson. Also in the secondary as well. You take him. He was a great safety. Both were, one was committed to Jackson State. The other one was a prospect. They ended up going to FAMU. FAMU did a damn good job in this recruiting class. But Jackson State has the best recruiting class. And to me, it ain't close. This ain't even no bias, right? Number one, let's talk about Seven McGee. That is my favorite player in all of college football. Everybody knows that, right? He's coming from Oregon. Oregon is my squad. He was the number one running back out of New York. Goes to Oregon. We put him at wide receiver when he was really supposed to be a running back. I guess he got tired of it after 2 years and left. We wished him nothing but the best. He's going to be great for Jackson State. On top of that, everything that they've lost at Jackson State, they've not only replaced, but they kind of almost take a step up, right? You go and you get a Sias Guthrie, who is an NFL prospect, a bona fide NFL prospect at safety. He's going to be great because you got hit hard in the secondary, all right?
Yeah.
3-star cornerback, Nareek Sharp. Kid is so good to me. I think he can play in his freshman year. To be honest with you, I think he has great speed to keep up with the receivers. I love his wingspan. I love the way he jumps up and high points the football. I think he's a great corner overall. So you got him. You go to the offensive side of the ball. You get not one, not two, but 3 quarterbacks to potentially replace Shedeur Sanders. And I like all 3 of these dudes. Let's be real. Jason Brown has the rocket arm. And as well as the accuracy, he is a bit of a journeyman. Okay, going a lot of he's been through a lot of schools, but very talented individual. When he was called upon at the FBS level, he produced. He just wasn't a starter. Then you got Phillip. You got Phillip coming from the JUCO level. I love his athleticism. I think he's very fast. I think he's the type of quarterback that you would love for this offense that they're getting ready to run at Jackson State. That was, if I'm not mistaken, was Maurice Washington to run his offense. I think he's going to be great. Yeah. And then, of course, Zy McDonald, who a lot of people sleep on because of his size, but he's still a very great athlete, and he can run the offense pretty well too. And then, the receiving core, let's just be for real. Even with all those losses, man, the guys that they got, it's still one of the best in the FCS. Jackson State really outdid themselves when everybody thought they were going to go back to their losing ways, man. I absolutely love what Jackson State did with this recruiting class. But for y'all, who has the best?
I gotta agree with you. I do think Jackson State did have the best recruiting class. Now, I will preface this with saying this: Jackson State had the most to lose in this recruiting cycle of all of the HBCUs in the top 10. I think that with the changing of the guard, there could have potentially be a rebuild situation with Jackson State. But I think bringing in so many transfer guys that are like veteran type players, bringing in juniors, bringing in, guys that are, maybe even journeymen, but guys that have been to different places. I think that actually kind of helps Jackson State in this situation where you're looking for more experience to guide a new team. I think that that bridge year is what's most important for a new coach, especially like TC Taylor. And during that bridge year, you want to get guys that can play now. Somebody trying to break in.
But that's some Jackson State people, boy. Right? They love you right now. And like Jackson State people love you.
They ain't like that. But I do think, just because Jackson State did have so much to lose, there was a lot going on this recruiting season, and they bring in a lot of guys. Kobe spoke about the DBs that were leaving and how they had to replace them. They brought in a plethora of defensive backs, even bringing in Short, to bringing in Bruce Mitchell, Tim Seward. They were bringing in so many different guys, I just get the feeling that they're trying to replace and continue this winning legacy that Jackson State wants to continue. But I will say, if we're not talking about Jackson State or FAMU, I want to speak about Southern. Southern had a pretty good recruiting class. Southern brings in a couple quarterbacks, Dylan Mahorta and Jalen Woods. Yes. Two quarterbacks that's going to battle it out. They're really going to battle it out.
Let's hope they battle it out.
Well, Bubba's gone. Bubba McDaniel's gone. He graduates out, and then Bashawn McCray transfers out. So now, if Blood is still on the team, Blood may be almost a junior, redshirt junior or senior. It'll be Blood. It'll be Dylan Mahorta. It'll be Jalen Woods. Now, Jalen Woods, nice 3-star. He's the young guy out of this bunch. He's going to be your freshman. He's going to be the guy that maybe Eric Dooley decides to build his program around. And I'm interested to see how Southern decides to move forward, losing such intricate pieces last year. You bring back a lot of guys. But when you lose your Jordan Howard and you lose Jason Dumas, you lose Bashawn McCray, you lose Bo McDaniel, you have some questions to answer in spring ball. I'm really interested to see how Southern spring ball goes competition-wise.
Definitely. For my advice for Southern, don't be hard-headed. Be smart. Because last year you was hard-headed. keeping damn McCray in the whole season. Now this is my off topic. Sorry, y'all. Now think about this. If Bubba was playing the whole season, they probably would have won majority of the games. They would have lost. Just think about that now. Think about it. Just think about that now. But besides from that, best recruiting class, I gotta go with JSU. Even though it pains me to say this, I gotta go with them. They had everything to lose, and they had to gain back everything. Literally, they had to gain back everything. So, like the quarterback position, the wide receiver position, the secondary, that's a hard task. That is a hard task. That's day and night, staying up, being on Twitter, traveling down the road, going here, there, and over here, watching film, knowing who you like, knowing who you don't like, knowing if this person got it on, knowing if this person got the grades. That's a lot.
Coach O and TC got busy in that offseason.
Yeah. That Joker was literally every night at the gym, and he wasn't getting off the court. I'm talking about he's 7 games in. Talk about who next. Shoot, that boy was balling this all season. And then I gotta go, like you said, Coach, FAMU. FAMU did an awesome job. My question is this: can FAMU run the ball? That was the problem last year. We couldn't run the ball like we wanted to. Since Bishop left,
man, I don't know. If they can't run it with Jaquez, I don't know, man.
No, but you gotta think about this. This is no downplay to the offensive linemen, because I do know a couple of offensive linemen at FAMU. FAMU is a better pass, but last year there was a better pass blocking team than a running team for their linemen. So let's see if these guys can get mature, get tough, actually, put they foot in the dirt and goddamn pancake somebody and let's get these 4 to 5 yards.
I mean, I'll be real, man. I think the issue is only running the ball against Jackson State. The FAMU played well against everybody else. You know what I mean? They got ahead of everybody. They used that passing attack. And now I'm more like thinking, is Jackson State just that hump they needed to get over? Because at times, the running game was good. At other times, they leaned too heavy on Xavier Smith. But at the end of the day, they were still getting wins. So I think the biggest question is their identity on offense. Are we going to see some more? Are we going to lean back pass heavy? Are we going back to the ground? There's no more Xavier Smith this year. Like you're saying, Bridges, leaning on like a Yan. You got to lean on some new guys. You're not necessarily leaning on your vets. Xavier Smith been there 5-6 years.
You're right. But my thing is this: like, if we can't run the ball, which I know we're going to pass the ball tremendously. I know we still got Sharif, we still got Manigo, we still got some good receivers that we could throw the ball to. My thing is this: can we be elusive in the playbook to run and pass the ball efficiently? Not just we can't run this game. We gotta figure out with Musa and these other receivers. No, we need to allow him to run and allow him to pass equally. That's just me. Because when Bishop was there, we knew we was going to throw the ball to Xavier and run it with Bishop. We didn't have no problems. Even we didn't even have we had a C quarterback. Just to be honest with you, McCray was a game manager. If we would have had Musa that year with Bishop Bonnet and Xavier, oh my gosh. He would have went off. Yeah, oh my gosh.
All right. So let me ask y'all this, right? Moving on to the spring season. What game, because of these storylines of what teams have lost and who they've gained, and finding out new identities for this upcoming season, what spring game are you looking forward to the most and why for you to get those questions answered? Because for me, it's going to be my Bulldogs of South Carolina State because you lost Shaq Davis. Oh, my God, man. Shaq was phenomenal last year. I went up to Orangeburg twice to watch him. It was just evident how much we relied on him to get by. He's gone now. I thought he would come back for another year. That was a shock to us. I need to know who's going to be quarterback one because I love Corey. We all love Corey at South Carolina State, but last year, Corey did not play good football. We have to be honest. He's not back now. Now you got young quarterbacks, the three-star whose name I forget. And you also got Andre Washington. Both came in the same year. Big arms. Both got a chance to show what they can do last year. For me, can Andre Washington be that guy for South Carolina State? We all expect him to be. When I say this kid has a big arm, I mean he has a big arm. He's the type of passer that South Carolina State has not had for the last 4 to 5 years because all they had was athletes at quarterback who weren't really good passers, but were, just great athletes. They could run the ball very well. Now they have an actual passer. So I want to see if Andre Washington is ready to step up to the challenge. He has good size at 6'5". He's a little skinny, but he should put some muscle on. So I think Andre Washington, I need to see how great he's going to be and if he's ready to lead South Carolina State. I look at that receiver room for South Carolina State. You lose Shaq, but you do have Raheem White, who's back, 6'5", about the same size as Shaq, same athleticism. He just needs to find his way. You bring back Justin Smith-Brown, who's a great route runner. But you got a lot of young guys from 2 years ago who now are in a position because Coach Pugh likes to redshirt freshmen. He goes by seniority, but now that these guys have had a year of being redshirted and they're ready to go, I need to see are these young guys ready to step up to the plate. So you look at the cornerback position. We've been looking for somebody to replace Jacoby Durant. Okay, look out for Marquise from Gaffney High School, who was there 2 years ago. 6'2" corner, long wingspan. I mean, dude is just legit. I loved him as a freshman. He redshirted. Now, he's ready to go. So look out for Marquise at corner. Look at the running back position. I think they have the best young running back room in HBCU, and people just don't know about it yet. Tyler Smith, look out for him. He came from one of the best programs in South Carolina. It's a lot of great young talent for the South Carolina State Bulldogs. I just need to see, are these young guys ready to step up? And my questions are gonna, I'm hoping to get the answers to my questions when I go up there to watch South Carolina State spring game, because I'm gonna be honest with you, but I've been talking some trash. I love JSU. I love JSU. Boy, I've been talking some trash, and I ain't trying to go up there and embarrass. I'm gonna be with Ken, Zoe here right now. I'm gonna be with Ken and Zoe. I can't have them boys teasing me if we go up there to Atlanta and we get blown out or something. So I need my dogs to be ready. All right, but for y'all, man, whose spring game are you looking forward to the most?
Oh man, that's big. South Carolina State going on to Atlanta against Jackson State. That's going to be a big one. And I did have a question about Eric Phoenix and South Carolina State. Like, wow, how is that not like a match made in heaven? That's what I thought.
Kelly, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, I don't know what they were thinking not offering Eric Phoenix. I wanted that to happen so bad, bro. I don't know what they thinking. Your guess is as good as mine on that.
Okay. I just wanted to
know. They must have been drinking that moonshine that day. That's what happened. Down in Orangeburg, drinking that moonshine. Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. Well, a spring game I'm looking forward to off the top is Grambling. I think what Grambling did with HBCU League Pass Plus last year was amazing. I wasn't able to go to the game, but I got to feel the entire experience from at home in the comfort of my living room. I got to see a packed Grambling stands. It was ridiculous. And I think the biggest thing to me about this Grambling game is the quarterback battle. You got Julian Calvez becoming a sophomore, the returning starter. He's going to go head-to-head against Miles Crawley, a guy that has wanted the starting spot at Alabama State and had to switch around and do the 1A, 1B quarterback situation. He wants to win that quarterback situation. He wants to be the guy for Grambling. So I really want to see what the atmosphere is like for both these guys, how they both react to that. And I really want to see player performance, man. A Grambling team that really underperformed last year, going to have to answer a lot of questions. One of their best players, Maurice Washington, leaves for the NFL draft this past year. So there's so many questions around this team. And really in year 2 of Hugh Jackson's career in the SWAC, a lot of people want to know, can he win? And I think in the spring game, it's going to show us. Last year looked a little discombobulated, but that was fine. He was only coaching about 2 months before then. But now you've got a whole year under your belt. I like to see how organized the team looks. I like to see how blocking and running, how fluent this is now. It should look much more smoother. I want to see a good Grambling team that's like a well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And not the step over you, but I agree with you, Kelly. It's time for Grambling to take the next step. I don't want to see mediocrity this season. You know, like I gave them a pass. You know, the last year, y'all got that pass. Now it's time for y'all to take that next step and really show what y'all can do. Let's not forget, they still got Ryan Pepins. You know,
right.
That wide receiver. They still got Ryan Pepins. They should really be a good team. Floyd Chalk at running back. They should be fine. Find that quarterback, get that offensive line together. I need them to take the next step. Not saying they got to be SWAC champions, but it's time.
Yeah. Told you they're a bubble team. They're a bubble team. Either you gonna stay in the bubble or you gonna pop. Which one you gonna do, Grambling? But spring game I'm definitely looking forward to it. North Carolina A&T. Yeah, they got a new guard coming in. You know, last year they was predicted to be last in their conference, and they was literally in a conference championship game going against Gardner Webb, and it came literally a shootout in the third quarter, and and just Gardner Webb took it off to they just hit that next gear and just won the game. But I want to see if they're gonna have a bounce back season. You know, you're known for running the ball. You're known for being physical. You're known for having offensive linemen and running backs and a good sound quarterback. Let's see what this spring practice looks like with the new change of guard, with the new helm. Let's see what, let's see what kind of offensive mind he has. Because, are we going to do the same old, rely on that running game? Or are we going to, switch it up a little bit? That's what I want to see. And I know another team that, I want to see as far as the spring game is Southern. Let's utilize everybody in the offense, not just 2 quarterbacks, not just, I think this quarterback is good. Let's utilize everybody. Let's see what talents fits better with what players, or what talents fits better with what offensive linemen. Like this is your time to be experimenting. Like you should be in a lab doing like this. Hold up now. Hold up. Is this right? You should be in the lab doing that the whole time during the spring game. Make it fun, make it exciting. Actually have a draft day during the spring game. Just do something different. Do something unorthodox, man. That's what I'm looking for with those 2 teams. Just what's new.
All right, and we talked about spring games we're looking forward to. How about what HBCU player debut are you looking forward to? It's college football debut. Guys who may have been redshirted, that haven't got a chance to play yet. But they're about to make their debut or as anticipated to this season. For me, Kareem Burke, FAMU, 3-star wide receiver. Man, listen, I was high on Kareem Burke. I was very high on Kareem Burke. I loved the way he played, and I've been in contact with him throughout last year. When they were talking to Coach Williams at FAMU about Kareem, and who was sticking out. He mentioned Kareem. Like Kareem is doing what they thought he would be. Like he's doing what they thought he would be doing in camp. He's really showing out. He's turning some heads, and he is expected to get some playing time. Like this is a kid who has a great route running ability, but I love his ability to catch even more. I think like as young as he is on that team right now, he's one of the better catchers of the football. Very skilled in that aspect. I'm waiting to see Kareem Burke turn into the playmaker, the big time playmaker for FAMU. So that's him. Not only that, of course, Andre Washington for South Carolina State. It's more than one. I gotta see if he's going to be the leader for this Bulldog team. They need a quarterback, and he is that guy, or is projected to be that guy who can deliver. So mainly Kareem Burke for FAMU. That's who I'm looking out for. But for y'all, who is it?
For me, it's one guy, definitely a returner guy, is coming back. It's going to make a big impact. I got Durante Davis, man, out of Jackson State, linebacker. I think that he was a little overshadowed last year playing with Aubrey Miller, but he played great nonetheless. I think that whole Jackson State defensive unit played well. They all did their jobs, and I think it's Durante Davis' turn to get a bunch of stats. You know what I mean? Run it up, maybe play middle or outside. He gets to the ball. I think that's something that Aubrey Miller did very well, was getting to the ball. And I think Durante Davis could do something like that. But then next up, I got a new guy, Tyler Macon, the quarterback that's headed to
Alcorn, right?
State. He's going to be Alcorn State, new quarterback. Last year, they did the same thing, bringing in a transfer quarterback in Aaron Allen. I'm hopeful it'll work this year. But this time, Tyler Macon has 3 more years of eligibility. Okay, Tyler Macon was an Elite 11 player in 2020. He actually got to play with Demetrius Davis, quarterback at Alabama State, at the Elite 11. So he has a lot of experience, was very sought after coming out of high school, and now he's going to get a chance to play and really get the ball at Alcorn State. I really want to see Alcorn State with another steady quarterback. Ever since Felix Harper left, I think there's kind of been a void, and Aaron Allen did a pretty good job last year. But I'd like to see a quarterback really take over games for Alcorn again. I think Alcorn is missing that. I think their defense was great last year. They're just missing the spark on offense other than their running game. So I think Tyler Macon can be that. I like to see him out there. He has a very strong arm, can get the ball to anywhere down the field. I think if he makes the right decisions, he'll work out very well at Alcorn State.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go with the defensive side of the ball, even though I'm an offensive guy. For FAMU, I got Tyrese Gibson Battles. He's a JUCO transfer from Golden City. When I say this boy is amazing at defensive end, like literally play defensive end and it can cover the flat like it ain't nothing. If you want to see this dude's tape, like literally, the first play is him going to the flat and getting an interception. I do not know a defensive lineman right now that can run to the flat full speed and get an interception. I haven't saw it done. When I saw it on his tape, I was like, oh, this boy a monster. Oh yeah. We just got the bag with this boy. But he's physical, he's fast. He's a land 2.0. He got that second gear to get to the quarterback. And that's what we need on that end. We need that end or that contain right there to get to the quarterback. Because we had General Hunt. He controlled that middle. But we need that defensive pressure that's coming off that end right there. And I think, he's probably going to be one of the key players for the SWAC. He's probably, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. He's going to be, first, second team SWAC defense player of the year.
Okay. All right, no, I'm gonna look out for him too. I'm glad you brought him up. So what player or players are destined for a breakout year next season, in y'all's opinion? For me, number one, I'm going to go David Studstill, wide receiver, Jackson State. I'm going to go Stud, all right? Stud is a product of – he's the definition of being so insanely talented and gifted with his hands, but at the same time, he was literally buried by the amount of talent that Jackson State had at receiver. That's how good that kid is. Studstill is going to put the country on the SWAC on notice next season. I mean, I believe he's going to come out the gate swinging. He's going to make a bunch of catches that makes you go, dang, like that's, who is this kid? And we got a little glimpse of him last season during the spring game on ESPN, where I think he made like 3 big catches, if I'm not mistaken. So look out for David Studstill. And of course, I got to go to the MEAC with this one, Eden James. I want to see him build up that freshman year. I think they're going to trust him with more carries now. Now that he's gotten his feet wet, he's got a lot more training under his father, who was a Hall of Famer. I think this year, sophomore year, is going to be the breakout year for Eden James. I can't wait to see what he does in running back for Howard. I think they're going to trust him a lot more. He's a little bit older. He's learned from his mistakes last season. I can't wait. So for you guys, who would it be?
So I'll go with a guy that I think was already becoming the star last year to become the breakout star this year in the SWAC, and that's Jeremy Musa. I think Jeremy Musa takes that next step this year and becomes the top quarterback in the SWAC. I think Shador Sanders and a couple other the potential of a couple other guys like Demetrius Davis, guys like Julian Calvez. There was a lot of potential talk about a lot of guys. I think now at this point we're talking numbers, and Jeremy Musa is by far the best quarterback in the SWAC right now, based off of prior playing experience. Right. So I think this year he takes that next step. Really boosts up his completion percentage. Last year was around 52%. I'd like to see him get that up. I like to see him make better decisions with the ball, not always force the ball. And he's got the touch. I just need him to calm down a little bit in the pocket a little bit more. And I think he'll become that guy in the SWAC. When it comes to next year and talking about quarterbacks going to the draft, there's a lot of talk about Davius Richard out of the MEAC. The next question will be who's the best quarterback out of the SWAC. I think that question will be answered with Jeremy Musa. And then going to the MEAC, I'll give you a second breakout star. I like C.J. Henry, if I'm not mistaken, the running back out of Delaware State. Great running back. He's so quick. He really reminds me of Darius Higgins out of Virginia State, whereas he can catch the ball well and he's very shifty. Delaware State has a new coach. You bring in a new coach, a new system. Sometimes they tend to lean on their running backs. Kind of saw that with Coach Eddie George and Devon Starling down there at Tennessee State. So maybe we lean on this running back situation in Delaware State, and this guy becomes a 1,000-yard rusher. We saw Savion Wilkerson do it nearly 2 years ago.
Hey, let me piggyback off you, right? Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned Delaware State because you brought him up. Marquise Guilford is right behind him too.
Yeah,
that's a two-headed horse right there for Delaware. I don't know what it is about them and great running backs. I don't know how they just keep getting good running backs. I don't know what it is, but they do a very good job in that aspect. So those two together, they can definitely wreak havoc on the MEAC. So I'm glad you said that, bro. But Bridges, what's yours, my guy?
Shoot, I got an offense and a defense. Y'all touch bases on some good players, especially Musa and Davis, as far as the quarterback position. But I gotta go with another quarterback. I gotta go with Andrew Body. His potential has been so high last year. We thought we was going to see crazy games by him, but we didn't, or the coaching chemistry wasn't there with him, or it just either he was sick, he had a flu game, or the stuff was going on with the locker room and the pads and all that other stuff, and had just a lot of distractions from Mr. Body. But I feel like he's going to get the just due this year. He was basically the third best quarterback in the SWAC. It was Sanders, it was Musa. To me, it was Body. The only reason why I say that is because if you put Body at JSU or if you put Body at FAM, he's going to eat. But he was at Texas Southern. He had a lot going on. I don't think him and the offense coordinator or the coach didn't see eye to eye. It was you could tell it was just something went clicking. Just something went clicking with that offense. And he's talented. He's got the arm. He's a dual threat quarterback.
Now he got Quay Davis with him. He got a weapon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm really looking forward to the next step of being like, okay, this is Andrew Body. This is what we came to see. This is the quarterback that everybody been talking about. That's what I want to see from Mr. Body this year. And another player is General Hunt. Every year, General Hunt been getting better since he was a freshman. For me seeing progress, I haven't seen that type of progress on the field from freshman until now. It's been a long time. Every year he's getting more tackles. He's getting more tackle for loss. He's getting sacks. He's getting hurries. He's doing the right things at the right time. Mm-hmm. And even though he was, we had Bell, we had Lamb, but at the end of the day, in the Southeast Louisiana game, he hold his own. Over. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
hey, nah, they going off in these comments.
Bruh, how is he on?
Oh,
Okay, my thing is this. If you put Shador at Texas Southern, he would not put up the same numbers he would at JSU. Musa wouldn't put up the same numbers if he was at Texas Southern. Musa wouldn't put up the same numbers. If you put Andrew Body at FAMU, numbers. Because all you just got to do is step back in that pocket. You're protected and throw the ball. I mean, if y'all can't see it, then y'all must be cool with 12 blind man from Alabama. That's all I gotta say. If y'all can't see it,
man.
y'all cool with 12 blind man from Alabama.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm hopeful like you, Bridges. I'm hopeful that Texas Southern actually features Andrew Body the way we want to see him featured as an athlete and as a quarterback. You know what I mean? Really take the reins off of him. And they really started to as his freshman year. You know what I mean? He went head-to-head with Akil Glass, scoring 50 and 65 points against each other. There were glimpses of the Andrew Body that we saw. We thought we were going to get in the SWAC. I think last year, they kind of put a leash on Andrew Body. And the offense is all right, but we see some games where Andrew Body's throwing for 150 yards, rushing for 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. We're seeing some softer stat lines. And I think that with Andrew Body, he's the type of guy where you just got to let him go out there and play. I think it's too much thinking going on. I think we're giving too many checks. I think we should give him a straight line on what he needs to do and let him go out there and ball.
I feel you on that. I think that's probably one of the biggest things because in certain games you can tell it's not there. Then other games you just like, oh, it's there. You can tell it's there. So it's just I think the offense coordinator and him really had to sit down and talk about what they're looking forward to and what they want to do in that offense.
Okay. All right. Now let's get down to the topic that's going to be the topic of discussion for a long time until week 0. All right. Who is going to win Jackson State starting quarterback battle? Now,
Here we go.
Maurice is coming from the offensive coordinator is coming from Liberty. All right. This is an offense who took on 2 Power 5 schools last year, if I'm not mistaken, and won, almost won the other, but they decided to go for 2. And, instead of going to overtime, and they lost like that. So they went into Wake Forest, put up 30-something points. Went into Arkansas, beat them. You feel me? So this offense, it takes an athletic quarterback to run it. They got 3 of them. 2 really, but, Jason Brown is athletic enough. For me, each of these quarterbacks, all 3 of these quarterbacks can run this offense the way it needs to be ran. But I am going to start Jason Brown if it's me. I cannot look over the arm talent. I can't look past the leadership, the experience that he brings. I can't look over the fact that when he was at the Gamecocks, wasn't a starter. This man was called on to lead them to the win versus the University of Florida. He did it. No questions asked. He did it. All right. Anytime he was asked to produce, wasn't a starter again, but anytime he was asked to produce at the FBS level, he did it. Never a bad stat line, to be honest with you. Okay, when he started at the FCS level, he was an All-American. I think he threw for 3,000 yards. And I can't even tell you how many touchdowns, but the touchdown to interception ratio was really damn good. You get a journeyman, you get the experience, you get the leadership, you get the accuracy, you get the big arm, all of that from Jason Brown, and he has enough speed. He probably has the same speed as Shador, maybe a little bit faster. He has enough athleticism to run this offense. To me, it has to be Jason Brown. I wouldn't be mad with whoever they choose, but for me, it's Jason. What about y'all?
Oh man, this is gonna be, like you're saying, it's gonna be a question all the way down to week 1, in my opinion. I think Jackson State may even go into week 1 playing 2 quarterbacks. I think it may get that sticky, and the reason being is that Jackson State brought in a lot of dual threat guys, and they brought in a Jason Brown. Okay, now Jason Brown is good running downhill, but he's not a dual threat quarterback, more the big arm type of guy. Now I'm not sure. I really want to wait until the spring game to see what Jackson State's offense is, what their philosophies are, if they are trying to bring the same Liberty concepts over to Jackson State. We saw that we saw the Liberty offense really thrive under Malik Willis. Malik Willis uses legs at times, but then also uses arm a lot, in extending plays. So, I mean, honestly, I like Zy McDonald the most.
Ooh, okay.
I think Zy McDonald adds a different wrinkle to this Jackson State offense. And if you really go all in on Isaiah McDonald and really go and use his strengths in this offense, I think you have an extremely explosive offense. An offense where the quarterback, he has very good arm. Don't get him wrong. You know what I mean? He's undersized, has very good arm. You have an offense where you're without limits, where you have a quarterback that can run. When you need that first down in short distance situations, you use Isaiah McDonald. And when you need guys to get the ball into a tight window on third and long situations, Isaiah McDonald can still do that. He's showed down his tape, still moving on the run, off center, and really not in the pocket. He knows how to extend the play. And I'm interested to see how that translates into the SWAC. And for Jackson State's offense, will that work better than what Jason Brown can bring to the table?
Whew. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But the real question is for y'all Jackson State people, who gonna throw the most interceptions to FAMU?
Oh my God.
That's it. No, I'm just playing with y'all.
Well, you about to all right, it's a bunch of Jackson State fans here now. I can't control
I already know, man. I already know. If Zoe's still watching, what's up with you, Zoe? What's up with you? This was a tough one. My thing is this. You gotta trust your big time players when they played in big time games. So you gotta go with Brown. That's just me. You gotta go. You gotta go. It's not on no wish list. It's rare. But at the end of the day, I like Brown. I like all three quarterbacks. Being honest with you, it's just who's going to be more consistent.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel like it's Brown because you came from a Power 5 conference. You played in Power 5 games, so you know the magnitude of what you need to do, and you know the magnitude of any day your position can get taken. So my thing is, if you've been at the top, you should know how to still be at the top, in the FCS. So that's why I pick him. He has the arm, and just looking at his stats, like you said, he threw for 3,000 yards. Not a lot of quarterbacks throw for over 3,000 yards. Not a lot.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna let you get back to it. I just want to say, I'm not counting out Phillip Short. It's just that for as great as an athlete as he is, his touchdown to interception ratio bothers me. That tells me his decision making is off. Something is not right there. And he does kind of he lacks the accuracy of Brown or Zai. When you look at his highlight tape, there are so many great plays that you look at initially and you go, oh my God, like this dude's great. But then you look at it from an unbiased perspective and you say, okay, you made that play, but you shouldn't have thrown that pass. And at a better level, that pass is going to be picked off, right? So it's not that for everybody watching, it's not that we counting out Phillip Short. It's just that if he can get that decision making better, maybe I'd give him a better shot. Maybe he'd be somebody's pick, but as for right now, he does have to get better in that area. I just want to put that out there. But go ahead, Bridges.
Yeah, that comment is true. That's a real comment right there. That will happen. But besides that, man, I just feel like when you have somebody that been at that level, and you have somebody that been in atmospheres like that, you can't. There is no downfall. Like at the end of the day, it's going to be a tight battle. At the end of the day, it's going to be who really gets the position. But I feel like Brown is battle ready. You've been in SEC. You know what this hostile environment is. I mean, HBCU is a different hostile environment of all, but still, you're playing in the SEC. You can't get no better than that. Like Musa came from the SEC, and you saw how he produced at FAMU. So, if you can't knock it, just you keep trying. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just keep going with it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll say to the two quarterback system I was speaking about with Jackson State, something like that. We're talking about a great offensive coordinator from Liberty coming in, Coach Maurice. He and using the two quarterback system, we're talking about using like Isaiah McDonald in a short yardage situation or goal line situations rather than using Jason Brown. We're not talking about switching every other drive. We're not talking about switching every other quarter. This is purely situational when you need that dual threat quarterback to get that 5 yards. Simply what I was speaking
I
about.
actually like that. I'm not gonna lie. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, just like who is it? Taysom Hill from the Saints.
Yeah.
He does it all the time.
Yeah.
He made 5 yards turn into 15, 20, 30 touchdowns. So,
All right. Last topic of the night, and I'm gonna let y'all go. It was a lot of good running backs last year. Not many cracked 1,000 yards, but I mean the quarterback play took a little leap up from the previous season. Who are your top 3 leading rushers next season? Just in HBCU, not in the SWAC, not in the MEAC strictly, just in HBCU. Because for me, you got to put Sivion Wilkerson back. Okay, I think he's gonna go for 1,000 again. Not many people are gonna take carries from him, especially now that we know that Seven McGee is gonna be playing like wide receiver, DB. He's gonna be playing a multitude of positions. So not many people, maybe Irv Mulligan, but they're not going to take too many carries away from Sivion Wilkerson. Then I'm gonna go with Caleb Johnson, going from Mississippi Valley to Prairie View. I like Caleb Johnson. I think he's with a better team now. You got a better line. I think he's gonna get back to his old ways, and I think he's gonna be a part of that top 3 that's leading the HBCU rushing yards. And then for the third one, I'm going to be honest with you. This might be unpopular, but I'm going to go Eden. I got stock in Eden James. I think Eden James is really going to break out and become that kid next season. So I think Eden James is really I think he's going to get close. If he doesn't eclipse 1,000 yards, I think he's going to get close to 1,000 yards for Howard. So those are my top 3. Sivion Wilkerson, Eden James, and Caleb Johnson. Those are my 3. So what about y'all?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson. We share a favorite on that list. I think Caleb Johnson going into Prairie View A&M might be one of the best situations we see a running back from the SWAC go to. You're going into a situation where Prairie View A&M dominates on the ground. Trazion Connolly dominates on the ground as a quarterback, and it complements any running back next to him. So I think Caleb Johnson is just destined for a monster year at Prairie View A&M without a doubt. Also, I had to agree with you with Sivion Wilkerson. Sivion Wilkerson, I think he has a chance to put his team on his back. I spoke about Delaware State and leaning on their running backs with a new coach. I don't think Jackson State would do anything different. I think leaning on Sivion Wilkerson, there's nothing wrong with that. I think he's shown that he can carry the load. He can be an every down guy. Doesn't fumble the ball very much, and he's consistent. Something you can rely on. So I think that makes him an 1,000-yard rusher in the SWAC. And then lastly, of course, Jada Byers out of Virginia Union, Division II.
Ooh, how can I forget? Oh, I forgot about Jada. Go ahead.
Definitely one of the best running backs in HBCU football and has been respected as such. Last year he faced a lot of 8-man boxes, even 9-man boxes, just trying to stop him. And I think that's a testament to Virginia Union's offensive line, offensive coordinator, and definitely Jada Byers, the running back. He rushed for almost 1,900 yards last year in an 11 or 12 game season. He's doing ridiculous things out on that field. So shout out to Jada Byers also.
That's Road to Glory numbers right there from NCAA. That's Road to Glory numbers.
Try to get that Scully.
What?
And honestly, I'm gonna let you go, Ron. But I didn't know Jarvin. I thought Jarvin was done with eligibility. Is he back?
Yeah, I thought it was done.
I thought Jarvin Howard was done. That's why I didn't. But if he's back, great. I thought he was done. Go ahead, Ron.
Both of y'all said the name. Definitely, Savion. Savion is a monster. You can't count him out. Like he's one of those back that he's like a Marshawn Lynch. You gonna be in a long game when you see that joker in the backfield. You gonna be scratching your helmet like, God damn, I don't feel like tackling this motherfucker. That's what you gonna be saying every time when he step on the field. Because that's why I play offense, because I ain't got no time for that. Then I got Kentron Britton from UAPB. I feel like he hit that 1,000-yard mark. Nobody really noticed it, but he did. So
nobody noticed.
Exactly. Right. So for me, if you hit 1,000 yards in the SWAC, you doing pretty good, especially if you playing for UAPB. So
right.
So they doing something right. They doing something right if you get 1,000 yards rushing.
Wow. So, And I know he was in the transfer portal. Did he decide to go back to UAPB?
I do not know. I'm pretty sure if he's not, then but if he's not, then they losing a lot. That's 1,000 yards they losing.
Right.
Hey, check this out, man. This was fun, bro. I gotta have y'all back on. This was fun, man. This is fun. We gotta make this a thing. I just want to say thank y'all so much for agreeing to be a part of for hitting me up to be a part of the show, Ron, and Kelly, you agreeing when I hit you up, man. This was a great show. Please tell everybody watching where they can follow y'all at on social media and anything else that y'all have going on.
Yeah. So I do a lot of football analysis for HBC Red Zone. Don't forget to follow HBC Red Zone. And then I'm on Instagram and Twitter at kellyflicks. I do a weekly podcast, Lace Up Podcast. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm setting up parlays for Bet on Black. Bet on Black is a betting show, sports betting show me and my boy run, where we bet on only Black head coaches, Black schools, or that's about it. Black coaches, Black schools. That's about it. That's the only teams we bet on. We put them in a parlay, 5-teamer. Throw $20 in and see what it do, man. We've been doing pretty well with it. Cole, thanks for having me on this. Also, I'm not sure if I may have missed it because I came in late, man. Prayers up for Kofi Hemingway's family, man.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah. His wife and kids, without a doubt. Prayers to y'all, man. Very tough. It's tough hearing something like that. Love seeing Kofi on the Afterglow show and seeing him on ONG Strike Zone also. Shout out to those guys. So, man, prayers out to Kofi and his family, man.
Definitely prayers out to him, man. We was actually talking about that before we started the live run. Like it's crazy, man. Somebody could be here one day and gone the next. Like he was just posting on Twitter, right? And now, unfortunately, he's gone. So definitely my condolences to his family and prayers. I never even got to really talk to him, but it's still sad. He's a part of the community, the HBCU community. So you never want to see somebody go like that. So definitely prayers up to him and his family, man. But Ron, what you got to say?
Definitely prayers up to him. I know he came on my show a couple of times. We talked. I see him every Rattler home game. It's crazy because you don't hit people up sometimes, and you could have hit them up. So just a tad bit more. So just condolences to his family. I know he was teaching tennis to his tennis players. Even to people that really took it hard, just condolences to them. People come and go for a certain reason. We don't know what reason that was, but people come and go for a certain reason. So just condolences out to him. But at the end of the day, you can follow me on Bridges on Top everything, like Bridges on Top everything. Make sure you watch the Pre-Snap Read. Pre-Snap Read is a weekly Wednesday show. I do it to my lovely co-hosts, Robin McGee and Jerry Goodson. We talk about every sport you can think of. We talk about softball, baseball, basketball, golf, tennis. If you Black and you playing it, we talking about it. God dang it.
Right.
So yeah, that's just how we roll. And you can also catch me doing live interviews with family players. I got General Hunt coming on this week, and I got a couple of Legacy Bowl interviews coming up. And hey, do y'all bet on everything Black now? Everything,
Everything.
okay.
XFL, baseball. We bet on some women's basketball parlay on Wednesday.
Okay. You might need to bet on some Black people reels. That's what you might need to do. Who got the best tailgate? Bet you can probably bet on that. Shoot.
Live bet, man.
All right, but hey, to everybody watching, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, I'm seriously consider putting something together so we can get this group back again. This is very fun. Hey, Kelly, don't stay on after I end this thing. I want to talk to y'all. But hey, man, thank y'all for watching. I love y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Deuce.
Hey,